Quick video: how to project a mirror surface upon a resin print, or any plastic surfaces really. The things you will need is a surface to paint on which is sanded or not to at least 400 grit. 400 grit on most model grade sandpaper is enough, as long as the surface is smooth to the touch and does not cling onto your nail's tip. Too high and the primer will have no surface to grip on. Surface primer, of course, any 1000 grit solvent primer, as long as it dries smooth enough. Aqua Surfacer 1000 is used here. Every paint here is thin with a leveling thinner. Some graphite powder. The theory here is that graphite has the same finish as metal and can be used to fill pores in the paint surface, thus resulting in a mirror metallic finish. Gloss black. Lacquer is best, others work too. Metallic paint with very fine particles. Mica paints do not work. Here I use Mr. Hobby's HSM02 Superfine Gold. SM206 is better. However, some countries do not allow the import of some paint. They are thin to the point of water-like consistency, not milk. The metallic particles should be barely clinging onto the medium. In which the need to explain metallic paints. Tamiya, or really any basic line metallic paints that have the same price as a normal counterpart, uses mica powder, which is cheap, but this gave them a very unnatural shine and distribution. A metallic paint requires these few criteria to produce mirror surfaces properly. These are all simplified. Number 1. The resin, or the medium really. The shine of the medium can give or take the quality of the paint away. Model 0 seems fine when first sprayed. However, when the paint dries, the finish is uncanny. All Chinese or Taiwanese brands suffer from this problem. Paint medium can affect the strength and finish of the paint and is thus critical. Number 2. The metal particle. The finer it is, the better it will be for mirror finishes, and of course, the more expensive. Think of the particles of metal as pixels on your screen. The more particle, the more details. That is to say that for non-mirror purposes, rough metal particles can actually look very good. Finish's Formula Chrome is one of the best metallic paint out there, but its metal particle is very big. Number 3. The solvent. Alcohol is the best, as it evaporates fast, first allowing the particles less time to clump up. Liquor is second, enamel worse. I use leveling thinner in this video for the sake of consistency. However, in theory, a fast dry solvent works best. And of course, you will need an airbrush, a compressor, and some other necessities. First, prime your model's surface. A wet coat should suffice. It should then fill the uneven surface of its 400 grit finish. Then, gloss black. Wet coat it until the color is saturated and the surface is as glossy as possible. Until now, if you detect any surface flaw, it is wise to sand it out dry. Then, spray it again with a layer that you sanded off, be it primer or paint. Any surface flaw can stick out like a sore thumb when a gloss finish is concerned. Third, metallic. Use any technique you want. You may mist it, you may wet it. So long as the color saturation is to your liking and the surface is high gloss, you may feel free.
And again, you don't have to put the peppercorns in, your choice.
Fourth, after the paint dries in a few hours or a few minutes with a heat gun.
Bang, bang, bang! I love you, kitchen gun!
Using a cotton ball, apply the graphite powder onto the painted surface evenly. Finally, use a microfiber cloth to buff out the surface. You can repeat the fourth and final step for however many times you want, but once seems to be enough. You will not need to top coat the surface. It is strong enough to withstand fingerprints, like scratches, water, and oil. If you do wish to top coat it, you will need to mist-spray it with Zippo thin enamel. Then wet coat it a few more times.
I can't remember when I've had a more pleasant day.
Until we meet again!